All right, welcome on in, guys. Welcome back to another TapDaddyBeats stream. Today we're just gonna be making some beats. Man, I'm excited to get into it. I haven't been streaming in a little minute. Sorry about that, guys. At least not on YouTube. I've missed my mixing streams, but we are back, ready to make some bangers. Before we really get into it, wanted to show you guys, this is my new single. I just dropped this. It's called I Digress. A little jazzy banger. I love this sort of hip-hop. I don't know, it's like very like jazz noir. I don't know how to describe it. I just love this. Also, if you guys are trying to find more music like this, I highly recommend that you go check out this playlist that my wife curates. It's called After Dark, Jazz and Chill After Dark. Definitely go check it out. It is a good playlist if you like this sort of darker, jazzy hip-hop kind of sound. It's good. Oh, man. But anyways, I suppose we should get into some beat making. Yeah. But yeah, definitely go check out I Digress if you get a minute, if you're interested. I am TapDaddy on all platforms. All that good jazz. Literally. All right, let's put the kibosh on that. And let's dive into Ableton Live. Let's just get started with a beat. Now, I've downloaded a little bit of sample material. I didn't get like a ton of new stuff. But I want to sift through some of this and let's like kind of figure out, I guess really what I'm gauging is what kind of drums do I want to start with. So let's see. Let's go down to some of this new stuff I downloaded. It's so quiet. That's a lovely vibe, though. It's very quiet. We can fix that. Yeah, I forget how you, yeah, it's over here, this guy. So one of you guys taught me this the other day, that this knob right here is the preview volume. Boy, this kind of goes everywhere. I kind of like that. Maybe we want to start simple, though, with one of the, like, I liked that first one. Or, no, it wasn't that. It was this guy. See, I feel like I like this with the snare brushes, the smooth jazz guitar. I know it's kind of hard to hear. Kind of envisioning in my head how we might tackle this. I feel like we would really compress this, lay down some heavy boom bap drums, get a little sidechain going. Yeah, let's just start messing with it. Let's just start messing around. Let's go find a good kit to mess with. So let's see. Just gonna be sifting through some drums. Let's see. There was this kit. Or do we want something a little fatter? Oh, this is a fun kit when you chop the highs off. I'll throw you guys over here. So we could do kind of a Dilla swing. Or we could go for something that's a little bit more like straight eighth notes. Maybe we kind of shuffle it. Something kind of like that. I don't know. Let's play around with it because I have no idea how this sample chop's gonna line up, with this. We got a lot of different techniques though for how we might be able to get it to fit. One of my favorite things to do if I'm not vibing with the BPM of the original samples, I like to pitch it down, and that really slows down the BPM. But I guess biggest advice I would give is focus on your drums first, because if you're starting with some really good drums, then it's much easier to move on to something really good. So let's mess with it. But yeah, what's up, Mars? How you doing, man? It's good to see you. How's your day going, dude? So kind of a shuffle feel. Boom, boom. So that would be the end right there. Let's bring this around. Now, first thing I want to do here, because the bright hi-hat stuff is driving me crazy. Let's get an EQ in here, and let's just chop down these guys over here. And I think we want to bring these hi-hats down a lot. These are unnecessarily loud, right? 3. Let's bring it down by a full 3 decibels each of these. 3. Let's bring that snare down by 1. I kind of want to bring this kick up a bit. Yeah. Not bad, not bad. All right, we'll loop that. But yeah, Mars says doing good. Taking care of my sister's old dog. Oh, I gotcha. He's really sick right now. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. But good on you. That dog has sounds like he has a good friend in you. That's awesome, man. All right, let's make a sick old dog type beat. No, not really. Sorry. All right. Let's should we punch this up a bit? I'm not sure. Let's maybe go ahead, start messing around with that sample that we were, thinking of. See, this could be lovely. And this is one where we would chop it pretty evenly by region. All right. Yeah, let's do 32, kind of line up with the snare brushes. So that's 90 BPM. We're at 88, and I think it'll feel better if we slow this down. Let's also just raise the volume on this. It's like unnecessarily quiet. Oh, there's some fun, like, I don't know, snare brush stuff. But yeah, I see Mars says, yep, we're old buddies. That's nice. He says when he was little, he used to fit in my palm. Oh my gosh. He would sleep in my bed rolled up against my neck and wake me up by nibbling on my ear. Oh, that's just adorable, man. Oh man. Well, I hope I hope the dog gets better. I hope he has a speedy recovery, man. All right, let's mess around. I don't know. I feel like we need to give this sample a little bit of a brighter edge to it. It doesn't help that I pitched it down so much, right? But maybe with like a little bit of OTT, this could like really, make this feel a little bit more extreme. So like here, I'm using Xverse OTT. Okay, that's way too much upward. But you see, this kind of brings forward a nice like hiss to it. That's just nice. That's just like a nice vibe. I like this. All right, let's capture that. Let's just mess around with this. See kind of where it takes it, you know? But oh man, I see Mars says, nah, he's about to go. Can barely walk. Oof, that's rough, man. That's rough. Well, I guess all you can do is make him as comfortable as you can, right? That's always a rough period of time, you know? We don't like to see our pets suffer, you know? Man. Yeah, I had this 20-year-old cat. He was 20 years old. Man, he hung in there for so long. Very long. And he was a Norwegian forest cat. And fun thing about Norwegian forest cats they love cedar wood. They love cedar wood. They used to, historically, Norwegian forest cats would stow away on Viking ships because they were made of cedar wood. And the Vikings would feed these cats. They were just like, I don't know, homies, you know? But, like, my mom got this, like, chest once that was completely made of cedar wood. And, oh my god, that my cat was just going crazy over it. I mean, just, like, slobbering all over the chest. Just loved it. I don't know. Okay, I still feel like this might be a little bit intense on this upward. Okay, this is starting to feel good. Yeah, we're really focusing the mid-range on this. Here we go. Woo, lovely vibes, man. I'm thinking we're going to, oops, not group, duplicate. There we go. Command D. All right. I think we're going to try to do a little bit of sidechain. Okay, let's solo that. Now, the question is do we include the snare in the sidechain, or... Let's leave it out for now. We can always bring it back in easily later. All right, let's get our glue compressors and let's just start going crazy with it. All right. Here we go. But yeah, I see Mara says, cats are the only animal that domesticated themselves. They would wander onto the fishing ports in Morocco and beg the fishermen for food. I think that's funny that cats are like... I don't know, though. Did we ever actually domesticate them, or did they just trick us into, like, basically being their human slaves? I have this theory that maybe cats have never been domesticated. Maybe they know exactly what they're doing. Like, they only just let us, you know. All right, let's get, here we go, start setting up our side chain. And I want to go for a pretty deep side chain. Yep, they tricked us. Absolutely. Okay, I gotta think about what kind of instrument do I want to bring in here. I feel like some strings over the top of this would sound immaculate. I'm just curious if I have any golden like string samples. There might be something in here that we could pull out. See, I kind of want like an ensemble like this. Look, there's only one way to find out. Let's just pull it out here and start messing around with it, you know? I already can tell this is going to be too loud, so let's really bring that down. Complex. Turn the drums down a little bit. Okay, so I really like this first chord, this first note. I kind of like that bend up, but I want to like bring us back around to this chord. Okay, so I've kind of got an idea. Everything in here, kind of boring, right? When we hit this part, though. Ooh, beautiful, right? So what if we were to maybe, like, cut this down. And we want to bring ourselves back around to this chord. We want to wrap it around, basically. And I love, just in case if you guys aren't using this nearly enough, I love like kind of splicing together pieces of audio using these fader knobs. Seamless, right? Yeah, so I don't think we're going to continue on to this stuff. Maybe that can help play us into a bridge later on. Ooh, we might hit this last guy right here, actually. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm liking this. Let's see. Shall we fade it out this way? Or maybe we go the other way. Just kind of give ourselves a little bit of... Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We are cooking, man. Now, is there any way I can get these to connect a little bit better? I don't think we have room on the other side of this, do we? No, it's all gonna be... Whatever. That's fine. That's fine. You know, it doesn't sound too super unnatural there. All right. Sometimes, you know, sometimes if you got like this beautiful string ensemble, a way to make it feel even more like sampled-esque. And this is also very advantageous for the mix sometimes. It kind of depends on the track. I just want to hear how this sounds. What if we were to put this string ensemble into mono? Just mono it. See, now I'm sure some of you guys are thinking, but it was so wide beforehand. It was so beautiful. Yeah, but also think about the possibilities. If we have this monoed like this, we could slip this around to like our left or something. And we have so much more room in the right ear now. See, sometimes I feel like the secret to really, you know, creating intricate mixes is it's about shaving down the elements so you have more room. And this is where I feel like having some knowledge of mixing really helps you with the production of things, right? You can kind of make decisions like this while you're in the middle of producing something that ultimately help you produce more intricate pieces. I like it. I don't know. Just food for thought. I don't know. Let's cause yeah, I'm thinking like if we got like a trumpet lick or something in the right ear. Oh, that would be beautiful. I think I want to turn this down even more. Also, I want to kind of EQ the sample a little bit more. I just want to raise some of these highs, do kind of like a shelf. Oh, wait a minute. We might have something really good here, guys. Let's pull this out. Okay. Complex. I might have to pitch this, right? So bear with me. Let's actually turn this up a bit. Actually, this is quite... Let's try to figure out what key signature we are in. The original sample was B major, but we pitched it down 2 steps, so that would be so A major, right? So we're in A major. What is okay? This is an E major. E major. So E major. We need to pitch this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Either up 5 or down 7 is kind of our choices, which is kind of a leap. I think we should try pitching it up 5, see how this feels. 4, 5. And who knows? This might even still sound wrong. We'll see. Okay, that last, the last lick, it doesn't feel good, but everything else sounds absolutely golden, you know? Yeah, Mars is saying 5. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I think this is the ticket. I think it's just this last guy that we got to kind of fiddle with a bit, you know? Now, I want to put some really glossy reverb on this, get it sounding immaculate. Let's bust out Vocal Pop Hall. You guys know the sauce. This is just a stock Ableton Live reverb that I personally feel like it just sounds amazing on a lot of these brass elements. And let's be sparing with our use of it, right? Maybe 18%, maybe even less than that, like 15%. Maybe a little bit more. I'll put it in the right ear a bit. Okay, now we can go mess with this guy. Ba-da-da-da. I think I want it to come down. Getting closer. I think it's just that last note now. Ba-dum-bum. I can't sing, but I know the note that I want. Let's figure it out. Bum, bum. There we go. There we go. All right, let's get these drums sounding a little bit better. I don't know. I feel like they need to get a little bit of compression on them to help kind of normalize the volume of some of this. This is definitely going to need a lot of mix work, right? But I'm going to try to not worry about that too much right now, right? Let's pull this out, kind of understand maybe how we might be dropping ourselves into this track. Ba-da-ba-da, ba-ba, ba-ba. Okay, we could okay, I've kind of got an idea here. Now this could be cool, but then we're just gonna repeat it over here. But maybe to give ourselves an element of distinction, we could like vinyl process on our first go around here. Maybe we like vinyl it. Ooh, let's do this after the reverb maybe. Yeah, you see, this is what I was kind of thinking. I almost want to find like better drums, you know? Something about these drums just like aren't quite doing it for me. I kind of am feeling like maybe more of like a live drum break kind of feel would be pretty cool. What's up, Signature? How you doing, man? It's good to see you. Welcome on in, dude. How's your day going, man? Let's go digging for some drums. Man, so what do I want? We already got like the see, something like this could be pretty cool. Let's just try this. So I'm gonna do that. Let's drop this in. Yeah. Okay, but we gotta get rid of the sidechain signal here. We'll swap the signal. So let's just turn these off for a second. This is really cool. Alright, so I'm just fiddling with these drums, but you know, we're getting there. Woo! Yeah, the LA2A really lifted these. I like the feel of that. Woo! But yeah, doing good. Love to hear it, man. God, I'm glad I swapped those drums. Okay, I got an idea. We're gonna bring them in with the strings, but we're gonna come in with a different instrument, and then we'll drop them in with the this Ooh, I like this vibe. Woo, thank you, Signature. Yeah, I'm vibing with this one, man. And here's something fun that you can do just like arrangement wise. If you're ever just like, okay, it feels like we need a fade out, but also I've just been using so many fade outs. What do? Fade the drums instead. I think sometimes that is really a cool way of just like setting the track down, right? Without going for your traditional fade out. You know, it could be something more like, and I don't know about the timing. Maybe we want a 10-second fade out. We'll see how this feels. But, you know, something like... Yeah, it feels great. Yeah. Oh, dude, that is awesome. Man, what do we want to do with this track? I don't know. I was thinking like I might come in with all these details, but I feel like we don't need it. This is something where it's like... We've got something so catchy. I'm starting to think maybe we don't need the trumpet in here. Maybe we save this, right? Let's save that. Okay, we're going to extend this out a bit. We're going to take all of this and we're going to scoot it over by maybe this much, right? And we're going to take all of this. We're going to scoot it over by maybe this much. And we're going to take all of this. And we're going to say you right here, right there. Okay. So we're going to let them really soak it in, you know, really soak it up right here. Just get the pacing of it, you know? Let them sit in the vibe of it. Yeah. Yeah, you see, then we could get in with the verse. Let it build, one piece at a time. And then we drop them in on this beautiful trumpet lick. Guys, I think we got a beat here. That is awesome. Yeah, thank you, Signature. I appreciate that. I'm telling you, man, it's that vocal pop hall reverb. It's just so clean. All right. Dang, we got one. All right. Let's save that. Let's see. I think we're on song 1005. I haven't made a lot of beats this week. I've been making a lot of loops though. Let's see. Yeah, we'll save that and we'll just dive right into another one. I think real quick before this next one, I'm going to go grab a little bit of coffee. I'll be like 2 seconds. But while I do, I'll let you guys enjoy my newest single. It's called I Digress. I just dropped it on Spotify. If you guys are trying to find the music, I am TapDaddy on all platforms. You guys can go find it if you're interested, you know? Anyways, I'll be like 2 seconds here. I see Mars was saying, yeah, I saw the notification for I Digress. Oh, I'm glad you saw that. Yeah, and I just want to say, you guys know me. I love this sort of like noir jazz sort of style, especially, you know, when it's fused with hip hop, like this track. I love this sound. I can't find enough artists that are doing this sort of sound. But, you know, my wife feels the same way. She's a playlist curator. And I just wanted to show you guys, for anybody that is trying to find more music like that, I highly recommend checking out this playlist right here, Jazz and Chill After Dark. This has a lot of like my stuff that is kind of like in that vein, but also some really cool artists on here. Like I really love Kaleido. Shout out to Jin Sang. I've been listening to Jin Sang for years. Arasu is sick. She's got some really cool stuff. Yeah, Jules Hero Jules Hero as well. I don't know. Point is, if you're looking for that specific vein of music, there's a really nice playlist that my wife has curated that I think you guys might enjoy. I'll just drop this in chat for anybody who wants to save it. Definitely do. It's some good shit, man. Anyways, let's dive into another beat. Oops, not open live set, new live set. Yeah, we want a blank Ableton Live project. All right, here we are. Let's dive into it. Let's see what we make of this. All right. So, let's go digging through some samples. I feel like I got a quick one, done here. Now, I don't know what we do next. Maybe we do something kind of sophisticated. I feel like we got one for the rappers today, Now I feel free to, I don't know, go off on some instrumental stuff maybe. We'll see. Let's see. Let's see, what else was over here? This is a pretty beautiful one. I love this sort of, I don't know what you call it, but, when you're, walking on the right hand. I really want to get better at piano so I can learn how to do that. Okay, so this is a second version of that cool sample is what it's called. See, this is a really cool progression that we could chop into any pattern, really. Maybe we get, some pretty, low-key drums. Yeah, let's just dive in with our drums. There's a couple of piano samples in here that I'm kind of, considering. But I want to just tackle it with some drums first. Maybe we'll just kind of go from there. All right, so God, there's one kit that I feel like is really good for some lo-fi kind of stuff. I'm trying to remember which one it is. Nope. Yeah, there's like one kit in particular that I'm thinking of. I might have to make some new ones here soon. Yeah, this guy. It's just very simple. And I kind of like the simplicity of this kit. Something like that. I see Mars is saying, I was really good at piano between the ages of 5 and 8. That was my first instrument. Dude, same here, man. Same here. It was the first thing that I really grew a passion for was piano, you know? I think it's awesome because, you know, now later in life, and I'm a producer now, I feel like I still use those skills every single day. It's just different, you know? It's different. I feel like my goals in music are different. But, you know, I think I was about like 4 or 5 when I just remember my mom had this piano. It was like my great grandma's piano or something, really old piano that was just in our living room. And I just remember spending so much time there just like making up little songs. Nothing too complicated, but I just loved composition. I just loved like making little things. And I started at a really young age, and I continued making music like that well into when I was like, even when I left for college, I was still writing pieces on piano. And they, of course, you know, by the time I was like around 20 years old, they were a lot more complicated. I was getting a lot better at it. I only really got 2 years of actual like piano lessons, and I wish I had continued, because in hindsight, I think I would have really utilized those skills a lot more, you know? I went through piano when I was like between like 4th and 6th grade, right? Piano lessons. And then I became a percussionist in, you know, school band when I was like in 6th grade. I continued all the way up through high school, and I was like in jazz band. I was the, you know, drummer in jazz band. Really, really loved playing in a jazz band. That was so much fun. I really wish I still had that in my life, you know? But I feel like through that, I really, really grew an appreciation for jazz music, right? I actually started listening to a lot of jazz music, and I started listening to a lot of hip-hop music around that time, and I kind of, was really enjoying sorts of fusions between the two genres that I was hearing, you know, especially that was around the time that, like, Bad Bad Not Good first kind of took off, right? So I was like a big fan of like what they were doing in the earlier days where they were covering like earlier Tyler the Creator stuff. It was really cool, you know. I don't know, man. I just like I've played a lot of instruments in my life. I think it might benefit me though to take some piano lessons, you know. I see Mars says, yeah, I practiced nonstop after school. My teacher used to smack my hand with a ruler till it bled. Oh, Jesus. If I played a sequence wrong. In school band, I played tuba. Ah, you were a tuba player. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. He says, after the first year, I quit and started teaching myself guitar. Ah, fair enough. Fair enough. I feel you, man. Yeah, I also started was like self-taught guitar as well for a while. And then, every single band needed a bass player. And I found myself, like, my sister bought a bass. She never really learned how to play it, so she just gave it to me. And it feels like everybody's band needed a bass player. So I ended up playing bass in a lot of, like, metal bands. It was really fun. I don't know. That's something that I really miss was just jamming in metal bands. That was so much fun. All right, let's lay down some drums. I'm just recounting my entire life's experience when it comes to music. Oh man! All right, let's lay down some drums. I think I've got a good kit here. Something like that. I don't know. There was some areas in there that we might need to clean up. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I think that was the turnaround right there. Yeah, that's the turnaround. So that right there should be the end. Looks like that's not going to line up very nicely. In fact, I feel like I had some cleaner runs in the first 16 bars or 8 bars. Okay, so that should be on 1. Let's keep it nice and simple. I'm trying to not get too complicated with the drums. Just something very foundationally solid, right? So let's slide these guys in. Make sure that guy's tight. In fact, I might just go ahead and quantize all of these hi-hats because I really want these to be straight, right? Quantize. Let's go grab the rest of that. Quantize. Kind of straighten out some of these. Some of the variations in velocity here are just like not hitting right. See, but we do want to preserve some of these subtleties. I like that. That guy's a little bit too early. In fact, actually, let's undo that and let's move these together. There we go. Snares are coming a little bit early, which really isn't a bad thing. I just really want these to feel very, like, tightened. Let's bring these in. Do we want to go the full... We'll see how this feels. Bring that guy up a bit. Yeah, and so, yeah, that turnaround's going to need to get fixed, right? But didn't sound bad. It's just, okay, so let's scoot these together. And then let's get rid of these guys. Okay, that's sounding a little bit better, but let's make sure our timing is right over here. Feels good to me. All right, cool. So we got a nice drum loop. Now we can chop some samples. I think we found some colorful chords that, you know, would have been really good to just chop apart. Some nice colorful jazz chords. Boy, this is very textural and airy. Oh, it's all really good. It's almost too good. Just kind of want to sift around through some other stuff. This could be kind of interesting, right? I kind of have an idea for this. So we're not chopping slices, we're pitching. Alright. That is sounding pretty sick. Alright. So that's the end there. Let's just grab these 4. There we go. This is gonna be sick, I think. A little bit of a different direction than what I was, originally thinking, but I think this is gonna turn out pretty dope. There we go. But yeah, I see Mars saying, yeah, really interesting in the stereo field. I know it's got a nice, satisfying width to it. And I don't think it's like completely touching the sides yet, so we still have some room, But it's kind of got a nice left-right sort of feel, I feel like a nice sub bass would be pretty sick here. Or we could leave it nice and breezy, but we may as well play around with a nice sub bass. Let's take everything and let's turn it down. I'm gonna turn this hip-hop sub bass down even more. Mess around with this. I actually really like the spread, the nice variety that we got in there rhythmically in that bass line. That was kind of cool. Let's capture that. Let's play around with this. Let's hear it back and let's see what we got here. First of all, that first note needs to just get tucked in right there. Got this bumping. bust out purity. Yeah, there's one synth lead here that I've been having way too much fun with. I just want to hear it in this context. Pressing the wrong buttons. There we go. I gotta figure out my key signature. Not sure if this is gonna be the vibe for this track. Or no. This is the one. Sorry, I had that wrong. Okay. Man, it's kind of a finicky synth, you know? It's kind of a finicky, you know, one. Because, like, I don't know, the sensitivity on the velocity dictates a lot about how this sounds, right? But, man, I don't know, there's, like, a lot of expression in this synth, and I just love it, you know? Yeah, thank you, Mars. Yeah. He says, I love taking sounds like this, rendering them to audio, and then playing around with the pitch automations. Yo, I feel you on that. I definitely feel you on that. of got a bit of an idea here. Let's start kind of taking this out a little bit. I don't know if we're going to need a full... Yeah, we might just shorten it down like that. Let's just drop out and hit that. Oh, not quite capturing it. There we go. There we go. Hell yeah. I like that little walk down. That's nice. All right. Pretty cool. All right. Maybe if we like sample a little bit of live brass in here, I think would really spice this up. Wait a minute. This could be cool, but I think we need to mess with this a little bit. Oh, and there's like this really cool like flute counter in the sample. That's pretty cool. Mars is like, I'm glad I found your channel. Dude, I'm glad you found my channel too. I don't know. Making beats is fun, but it's twice as fun making beats in front of people. I don't know. We should probably figure out, I don't know what key signature we're in though, because we kind of chopped the sample in a weird way. So we're going to have to just kind of feel this out by ear. Let's just start messing with it. Getting closer. Okay, I think that's the one. It's another one where we gotta pitch it up like 5 steps, right? We should try this -7 though, just to see what it sounds like. Oh! Okay, maybe that flute part we actually pitch it up, right? But yeah, I see Mars says, I had a friend that I used, we used to share productions together, but he, after a while, he started making it all about his own music, so I split ways. Oh, I got you. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man, like, I feel like throughout my life, you know, I've made music with a lot of people, especially growing up, man. Like, I don't know. I feel like if I had a friend that, you know, wanted to jam in a band or something like that, like, yeah, we'd get together, we would jam. The issue that I always found myself in, the conundrum, is that I really wanted to, like, do music seriously, you know? And I think a lot of people like to say that, you know, and like to be like, yeah, totally, man, we should be a famous band. We should try music. We should do this seriously. But when push comes to shove, I don't know. I feel like I was constantly disappointed between every band that I would work in. Nobody really was that committed towards, you know, like doing it the right way, you know, like really putting forth a genuine effort into like building something of it, right? That's where like music production, man, that's where I really thrived. I really enjoyed, you know, because it's like, I don't know, when it comes to music production and my beats and what I'm doing with them, like, I don't have anybody else that I have to rely on to make my music, right? I don't have anybody else that is holding me back from, you know, really like going hard at it and investing into it and like, you know, And lo and behold, this is the farthest I've ever gotten in music. I've got like 70,000 monthly listeners at about this point. I don't know. I just feel like when working with other people, at least in the past, in like a collaborative like band environment, it never worked out because nobody else wanted it as bad as I did, right? Now, I feel like nowadays it's a totally different situation because now that I myself am a little bit more established, I can collaborate with other people who are also somewhat established and also share aspirations. And we can do one-off collaborations. We don't have to commit our entire lives to each other to make music together. We can just jam. We can just vibe out. And that's really cool. I've been having really fun collaborating with people, but it's like, I feel you on that struggle where it's like, I don't know, maybe your homie starts to become all about his music or whatever. And he's like, yeah, this guy always wanted me to critique and help him with his music, but he would never do the same for me. I got you, a little bit of a one-way relationship there. He says, I had other bandmates in the past that were pretty good to work with. Yeah, and that's the thing is I got a lot of people that I absolutely loved working with creatively. But, when it came to like, oh man, I just remember one night, okay, like here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about, right? I was in this band in college. It was a 3-man band. And like, I don't know, like we would try to practice at least like 2 times a week, right? But man, our lead singer never wanted to really practice. Like he had to go smoke weed for like 3 hours before he could go sit down and practice for a half an hour, right? That was super fucking annoying. He just wasn't really there to jam. He was there to hang, right? He was really good at networking though. In fact, he networked in with a venue, really got to know the owner, and the owner was like, oh yeah, we need a band like every weekend. We would pay you guys each $50, $150 per show if you guys could show up and play for like an hour or two each weekend, right? And I was like, oh man, this is important. We should go play this gig so we can get this weekly gig, right? Well, and this was like after months and months of practicing together and hoping for gigs and hoping for a consistent, like this was essentially residency at a local bar. That would have been amazing. But no, our drummer was like, oh, I can't make it because I have to like pick up my girlfriend, And I'm like, dude, call her an Uber. I'm sorry, but like, this is more important. I don't know. I was just like, I was kind of taken aback. I was just like, dude, like this is an easy no-brainer. Like solve it some other way. This is important. This is everything that we've been working towards in the past like 6 months. Like, what do you mean you have to go? Anybody can go pick up your girlfriend and go drive her wherever. I will hire somebody to go pick up your girlfriend and go drive her wherever. Like, what are you talking about? You can't make this super important night. Like, I don't know. It's like moments like that where it's just like nobody wants it as bad as I do. So I just decided to go do music myself, right? But yeah, did you play bass in the band? Yes. Yeah, I played bass, and it was fun. It was a really fun band. We were all really good friends. We pretty much lived together, and it was a good time, man. But yeah, I don't know. It was just so frustrating. My bandmates were so flaky. It was just like, ugh, guys, what are we doing here? Yeah, Martin says, yeah, there was another guy that asked me to DJ house music with him, but he would never mix with me. I caught him trying to get gigs in downtown Houston with my recorded sets. Oh, that's some bullshit, man. Oh, that is some absolute bullshit, dude. That's some hot dog shit, man. Oh, man. People suck, dude. People suck. Some people are great, but like some people suck. Yeah, he wouldn't mix, but record me mixing. No, I wouldn't let that happen. I would not let that happen. I feel like if somebody was doing that to me, I would intentionally feed him dog shit sets, and then when he complains, I'd be like, well, why don't you do it yourself, dude? I'd give him cringeworthy sets. Okay, yeah, we're starting to get... Okay, so I like the trumpet in the lower register. That flute lick, though, I think needs to come up. I think that was better at +5 rather than -7. So let's chop that out. Let's put that back up at +5. Yeah. There we go. Nice. But yeah, I see Mars saying he ended up doing rock mixes at a local pub chain in Houston. Ah, well, fair enough, man. Gosh. Yeah, I will say, you know what's great, though, about once you start to kind of establish yourself more in music is you start to find yourself around people with similar passions, you know, people that also take it just as seriously. And I don't know, man, I feel like it's nice to actually collaborate with adults, you know what I mean? Let me pitch that guy up as well. But yeah, I don't know, man, like I recently did a collab with the instrumental duo Beta Host. I'm sure you guys may have heard me talking about that. Definitely go check out our track on Spotify. It's called Don't Sweat It. Collaborating with them was a dream come true, honestly. Like, oh my God, they just ooze passion for music, and they are such talented people. And it was just like, oh man, I don't know. It's just like so wonderful to collaborate with people that take their craft very seriously and like have a lot of fun with it and are super passionate about it, because we could talk for like 2 hours, 3 hours about the mix, right? And it was like we were both just like really having fun talking about the mix and discussing compressors and, you know, like really getting into our craft, really getting into our music. It's like, oh man, I feel like you know, I don't know. It's something else. I feel like, you know, there's kind of 2 stages that I'd really recommend collaborating at, which is when you're just starting out, you have nothing to lose by collaborating with people. And if somebody just like is, you know, like you were saying, like stealing your mixes or just, you know, not working as hard at the music, like you can choose to stop working with them. You can choose to move on and work with other people. But I feel like, you know, when you're just starting out, you have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain, everything to learn by working with other people. As you start to get more serious about what you're doing, you know, then it might make sense to kind of like start focusing on your own goals and prioritizing your own goals above other people and your collaborations, maybe, you know. I think that makes a lot of sense, right? Now, I think that once you are kind of feeling comfortable in what you are doing, you're starting to make headway in your goals, I think that what you'll find is that a whole other world opens up to you of other people that also have goals and also are super passionate and are also doing really cool things. In that, you know, there's a lot of instances where maybe you both have something to gain from collaborating with each other, you know? And I think that that's where you can really comfortably come back around to collaborations, but with the right people. Right? With people that it makes sense to, with people that are going to hold you up and not tie you down, right? And I think that that's just like a hard lesson that I had to learn And I'm kind of glad that I got really focused on my own goals and my own passions, you know, because it allowed me the space to really accomplish everything that I've built thus far, you know? So, I don't know. Just food for thought, man. Okay. Now I'm kind of thinking, let's do some light mixing here. We're just going to swap ears on this guy, put him a little bit more on the left. Swap. There we go. This is sick. Let's try to think about where we're going with this. But yeah, signature says ditto. Hell yeah, man. But yeah, I think it's important though to kind of recognize when people aren't contributing to your goals and passions, but rather tying you down from them, you know? I think that happens a lot when you're in that just starting out space. But like I said though, I think you should still collaborate when you're just starting out, because that's how you learn, you know? That's how you learn how to work with other people, right? I want to do like a little delay on that last little flute lick. Something kind of subtle. Let's turn the dry wet down on it though, so it's like even more subtle. All right, let's kind of figure out where we're going from here. God, this is a chill beat. I'm just having fun pecking at this and chatting with you guys. Hearing how that traded off, I feel like this synth lead is a little bit more in the left ear. Let's swap that, right? Because it's going to go into that little vibraphone. Swap. There we go. Do another little drop out right there where we hit them with the yeah, this guy. A love those little dropouts, man. Okay, this is where we just kind of start pulling out instruments, you know? I mean, it would be really cool if we traded it off to like a sax or something, but I kind of want to keep this as like a really slick beat for somebody to rhyme on. Let's go one shots. Here we go. That's a good tone. And I feel like this paired with some Echo Boy could be pretty cool. Ooh, just this. Oh my gosh, this is kind of cool. All right, I'm gonna move my looped section over here. We're just gonna jam it. I don't know. There's got to be something good in there. There's got to be some cool stuff in there. I feel like we jammed something pretty decent in there, but not all of it was good. But man, whoo. What all did we have here? All right, let's start with the first 16 that we recorded there. Okay, I like that. Let's bring this over. over here. Let's see what we got. What if we kind of pressurized this, like we kind of compressed it? I'm going to start with some presets here and just... I don't know, we're getting into something cool. Let's try like bringing this guy in. I'm not even sure if we're going to need this other 16. I feel like maybe we hit it. Yeah, let's just get rid of that last... Let's get rid of these guys. Give ourselves some space. Okay. Oh, and I kind of have an idea. So I liked this little blip. I'm just kind of getting funky with these blips. Yeah. Ooh, that was cool. I like that. Dude, sick. What's up, Aiden? How you doing, man? How's your day going, dude? Ooh, man, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Let's hear that back. Blips. Ooh, yeah, that was sick. But yeah, Aiden says, have you ever looked back at your earliest songs and wondered to yourself what inspired you to keep going? No, because then I listen to my most recent songs and I go, thank God I kept going, you know? And even then, sometimes I listen back to my earliest stuff expecting for it to be absolute dog shit, which is, a lot of it might be, but some of it's gold. And I feel like, it's kind of a glass half full. I don't know. Are you an optimist or are you a pessimist? I think mindset plays into it a lot. You could go through life going like, oh, I'm not good. I've never been good. I'm not good enough. Or you could go through life being like, oh man, look how far I've come. That's insane. It's just a matter of perspective. Like, I bet you in 2 years I'm going to look back on this beat and go, I like it though today. Also, if you make a ton of music, then you don't have to be super attached to everything that you make. Like, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be like, like, that's the problem of like spending like a whole year on, or like a whole 2 years on one album, is that if you don't like the album at the end of it, it costs a lot more to you, right? Yeah, Aiden says, I listened to my earliest rap song and it made me cringe so hard. That's fair, man. That's so fair. Hey, self-awareness is good, okay, Aiden? Self-awareness is good. Like, genuinely. I think what you choose to do with that self-awareness, though, is really, the determining factor. I think it's good if you can listen to your music and recognize, like, this is bad. That's a good thing. Because, on the other end of that is I see a lot of people that have their blinders on and they think everything that they do is good and they don't take advice well because they're just like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. Maybe my music just isn't for you. And then it's like, oh, now you just look delusional. Now you look crazy. I think it's totally okay to suck. Like, that's the thing. We all kind of have to suck at some point, right? In order to get really good, we have to suck. And we also have to recognize that we suck. Honestly. You don't progress if you don't make that connection in your mind, right? It's a good thing if you recognize that you suck. Like, genuinely, it's a great thing if you can listen to your music and go, oof, Jesus, all right, what are we going to do about this, But I don't know. I feel like everybody then crosses that bridge where they have to make a decision. They have to eventually go, I'm bad at music and I'm just going to work at Office Max my whole life. Or they go, okay, I'm bad at music, but I could probably get better. And you know what? This brings a lot of joy to me. So much more joy than my job at Office Max, So kind of depends. What kind of person are you, For me, yeah, I sucked. I sucked, man. I really sucked. But I kept making music because it made me happy. And then eventually it was like, I'm getting kind of good at this. I don't know, guys. But it took me a while before I even had that. I feel like I started to get good at music before I even recognized that I was getting good at music, I don't know. It's all about phases, I see Mars saying, I still love my first 2 tracks. I made them on Fruity Loop 7. Fuck yeah, dude. They weren't done professionally, but they're still fun to listen to. I still think back to like one of the first EPs that I produced was a collab with my homie who plays trombone. We made this like jazz hip hop album and it was so much fun making that album. And no, the mix was garbage. The mix was hot dog shit. And also my ability to make hip hop beats was pretty rough then, but I had so much fun making it. And there were moments of that EP that were like really good. It was just like a matter of execution. Right. So I still listen to it sometimes, with fond memories. Right. But yeah, Aiden saying, I remember at the time of releasing it, I sent to my crush on Snap, and looking back on it, no wonder she rejected me. Oh, that's rough, Aiden. I'm sorry. That's really rough. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. No doubt, man. Like, I feel like it's tough. That's tough, man. No, I feel you. I had a similar experience where I like made a song for a girl, and then when I showed it to her, I was just like, why did I do that? Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Oh, my. And then I made a rule for myself. No more making music for girls. I can't go through that again. Aiden and I relate so hard. I relate so much, man. Yeah, no. Oh, man. No, but you see, that's the thing is I feel like, look, to do music, I feel like it requires a certain self-awareness, but also kind of a certain, like, I don't know, like, ability to kind of laugh at yourself for a minute and go, okay, like, let's move forward, though. Let's, like, keep going, right? Yeah, at least until you get good. Yeah, even then, man. What's funny is, like, so before I really started going on TapDaddyBeats, I was like working on this album for so long. It was called Rainy Day Acid. I still like the album. It's not really that good though compared to what I do nowadays, but I worked really hard at it. And like I would drive my wife to work every day, and I would force her to listen to to Rainy Day Acid every day. She was not a huge fan of Rainy Day Acid. But I don't know. I kept like playing my music around her because I was just listening to demos, doing my thing, just trying to get better. And at a certain point, like the music actually got good, and she was like, "Oh, your music's actually starting to sound good." And it's like, I don't know, that melts. that meant a lot, because it's like, knowing my wife though, she would not tell me that my music was good if it was not good, right? Or if it was not getting good. Right? She's a pretty brutally honest person. So, honestly, by the time that I was thinking about stepping into doing music production professionally, my wife was actually incredibly supportive. She was like, "No, your music is getting like really good now. Like, I think you could actually do this." And she was like, "Well, I know your work ethic too. You're really really hardworking. So I think that you could probably pull it off if you set your mind to it." So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. So, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, writing love songs, man. You're not the first person in history to be burned like that. Yeah, Aiden says, yeah, my sister is that honest with me, too. She started telling me when my music was getting good. Good, man, good. All right. Let's keep going on this beat. I'm just having too much fun talking with you guys. This is a really fun stream. I'm having a really good time cooking up with you guys. All right, we need like a sax or something for bridge section. See, this is where like we come in with like a trumpet or a saxophone or something cool. We'll flip through some samples here while we chat more. This is coming together nicely, man. But yeah, I see Mars says, you want to hear something crazy? My second track ever was called Gobbler. I made it with the idea of doing a stop animation video to it. It's still my cousin Deja's favorite track from me. Oh, hell yeah, man. Hey, sometimes it's like, especially in the beginning, you may not have the execution, but you might have the ideas, you never know. You never know, man. Oh, man. Nice. I'm liking this. I don't know. This is very sassy. Guys, I'm feeling a little sassy today. Putting on my sassy pants. We're going to hit this sassy sax lick. Woo! Oh! Yo! What the fuck? That has no business being that good. What the fuck? Oh man, no, that's crazy. Alright. Alright. Yes. Okay, well, shit. What if we ran that again instead of doing this section again? What if we brought it back into, like, I don't know. I just want to bring us back around to something. I'm thinking, that is such a golden moment. What if we, like... Nah. We could just run that twice, and, you know, bringing back in the bass line. That might be the call, because it's just, like, so gold, we may as well throw them back into it, right? We gotta hear this. It doesn't quite continue on nicely. That kills me right there at the end. We got to figure out a way to bridge this together. Da 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 ba da ba. Okay, we're getting closer. Okay, you see, we got to get a little bit creative here in how we're bridging these two together. Oh, there we go. Okay, I've kind of abandoned the idea of rappers being on this track. I think we can call that a beat. Oh man, that is amazing. That is so amazing. Let's run this back. Let's make sure we're happy with this. But goddamn, I think this is a sick one. With a little bit of mixing magic, this is just gonna sound golden at the end of it. I was planning on maybe adding one more element. They see, that's awesome. I want to just like hit some icy keys on the top there. Okay, maybe not all of that, but maybe some of that. You know, like maybe not that last one, maybe not in the bridge, but if we hit like these two. Yeah. Top banana. What? Yeah. A top banana. That's the technical term. Thank you, Mars. Oh man, that is just so sick. All right. Let's try to hit one more today. I want to hit one more. We got about 40 minutes left of stream. We might be able to hit one. Let's do it. Let's just dive into it. I'm thinking, yeah, let's make one for the rappers. Let's not overthink it. Let's just get something solid, you know? I did like, maybe we do like a soul chop or something. I did get a couple of cool soul samples today that I think could be really cool for just chopping it apart. Let's see, it was like these. See, so these are kind of like two sides to the same sample. And then we got this guy. But I'm kind of thinking maybe we flip like this. Maybe we do something kind of Ninth Wonder-esque, you know? Could be kind of fun. Let's dive in with some drums here. Let's see what we got. Something like this, maybe? Is this the right kit, or... I feel like that's the pattern, but I'm not sold on the kit yet. Something kind of cool like that. Here we go. Maybe something like this. I don't like the hi-hats on that. Okay, this could be cool. Okay, I gotta get this pattern down. Keep screwing it up. Okay, there we go. There we go. Easy, man. All right. Let's see what we got there. This is kind of a fun break, you know? Okay, I think we're like one off. Let's get Decapitator out. Or we might even use Ableton's stock drum bus. Doesn't quite feel right. Okay, let's get these sounding tight, and then we're just gonna like copy this, paste it like this. Ah, it's because of this beginning one, that's why. There we go. All right, now we can chop the sample. Let's hear it connect though. Nice. Okay, cool. Okay, this is gonna be sick, guys. I can't wait. Let's hit this. Let's go. I don't know how many regions I'm gonna need. 16, maybe, probably more. 32. Okay, let's start messing with this. Okay. Cool. I think I got an idea of what we're doing here. All right. So, and we're probably going to play with the transposition, and we also have a B-side to the sample, which could be really fun. Okay, so basically we're going to do like 12 bars. And we'll see how this fits together. I did this on a beat like last week. It was really interesting. Woo. But yeah, Signature's dipping out. Good to see you, man. Thanks for chilling. It's always good to see you, dude. I like this, how it's like going around in 12 bars. See, so it connects at like 24. And I'll tell you guys what we're going to do. We're going to duplicate this out, and we're going to separate the bass from the rest of the sample. It'll be pretty cool, hopefully. It'll give us a lot more control. All right, so let's take an EQ. Let's isolate where that bass is. Okay. And then we're going to take that exact same EQ, we're going to paste it up here, and we're going to switch the direction on this guy. Maybe pull him back a bit. Give ourselves a little bit of overlap. And what that's going to allow us to do is we can process these differently now. I'm not sure if we want to go that aggressive with the width. We'll see. This feels a little bit better. It's a little bit more tamed, right? And then this bass, we're going to compress it pretty hard. God, I could see a rapper just walking for miles on this sample chop, honestly. Not sure if that phased feel is going to be what we do here, but it does actually give me ideas Because there is some interesting phase things that we could do. Ooh, like this. Ah, yeah. Okay, so we could do some stuff like this. Yeah, I think Phase Mistress is the better way of doing that. Just feels better. Okay, let's start pulling out instruments. Okay. This is so sick. This is gonna be a really simple beat, but it's gonna be a total vibe, man. Okay, well, we got a bunch in there. Really, I'm really listening carefully for like the inflection of this synth. I feel like this synth is very sensitive to the velocity, right? Like there's just so much inflection in there, you know, that I feel like that's really why I'm like running through that a bunch. Let's just kind of hear like these four, see what we got here. But yeah, I see Mars says, I'm here. I'm just trying to get this dog to go potty. He doesn't want me to hold him up, but he can't stand anyways. Ooh, that's so sad. I'm sorry, dude. All right, let's hear which one we like the most. Down. I think that's the one that I like the most. Yeah, this one. Oops. Okay. Just that walk down. Let's grab that. Woo, yeah. Let's put that guy like over here. Put him again over here. See, and we're just really pulling out details here. It's okay that this one's going to be kind of looped-ish, because really, this is just for somebody to really go off on some bars, you know? That counterpoint. gonna keep this all kind of staggered. So it feels kind of lively, like you're not quite sure what to expect next, you know? Didn't like that last walk down, but we had some cool stuff before that. Yeah, that right there. And then we're not gonna cut that last guy. Cool. We'll probably play them out on that. Oh, man. God, it's just so good. What the hell? All right. I love how, like, wonky that sounds. Yeah, Mars says, you did some great songs today. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. I don't know. I kind of want to do something with that organ towards the end here. Let's just see if we can slap that in here. Oh my god. All right, that was beautiful. Yeah, let's hit that right there. And we'll kind of like fade at the end, I think. Something like this. Gosh, dude. Man, this is why I love sample-based music, okay? I love it so much because it's like, for me, I think it's kind of a different way of appreciating music, you know? I used to sample a lot of just straight vinyl. Nowadays, I can't so much because of like, you know, copyright reasons and all of that. It's hard to get permissions and stuff. But, you know, what I've always really appreciated about the art of sampling is it kind of gives you an opportunity to jam along with some really great music, right? And I feel like that's kind of in spirit what we did with this track. We sampled some beautiful soul and really just laid down, you know, whatever we were feeling on this. And man, there is nothing more fun than that, you know? Like, that is just beautiful. That is so beautiful. Oh, guys, we made a beat. Shall we hear it back? I think we shall. Oh, man, that is just awesome. All right. Well, I think that's a good place to call it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. My name is TapDaddy, and until next time, happy producing. I'll see you guys later. Peace.